hard facts.
.3 Nigeria Info. This is the Big Hard Facts, and today we're going to be talking about something that's very, very important. Something that many would say is a mark of a milestone of sorts for Nigeria, an achievement, if you may, for Nigeria to exit the FATF grey list. Now, several people have spoken on this issue. Many people have said that this would open up businesses. We will be able to attract foreign direct investment. In fact, there are those who have also said that this will, one way or the other, improve Nigeria's economy. In fact, let me quote the Minister for Finance, Mr. Waledu, who says that Nigeria is now open, compliant, and ready for deeper global integration. They hailed Nigeria's removal from the Financial Action Task Force, the grey list, which has been out there for a bit. And they're saying that this is a landmark achievement, a strong signal of renewed investor confidence in the country's financial system. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy represented Nigeria at the FATF plenary in Paris. He also announced the development in a statement released by his ministry, describing the delisting as a decisive signal to investors that Nigeria is open, compliant, and ready for deep financial integration. My guest is a lawyer, a politician. He's a former presidential candidate for the Social Democratic Party, and he's someone whose analysis I seriously enjoy. And he's on the road, but he gave us his time, and so we want to appreciate him. Prince Adewole Adebayo joins us live via telephone. So good to have you join us, sir. Good evening.
Thank you, Maryann. Good to see you, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. Let's start by looking at this. Several people, economists, have hailed Nigeria's exit from that grey list, which has obviously signaled, according to Mr. Waledu, an opportunity for us to grow our global relationships in terms of business and opportunities for investment. Let's start by you telling us what you think about this first.
Well, I think it's a good thing because no one should be on any blacklist or grey list. It's not good for your image. And in the world of global economics and global finance, reputation is very important. And the parameters for being listed there has two branches. First is a global critique, a peer review critique of your internal processes for dealing with illicit money, illicit finance, financial flows, how good your legal framework is for ensuring that only clean money runs in your system, and the efficiency of your system to detect illicit money. Secondly, it's also a show of the strength of your diplomacy, because even if you have issues with your internal systems, if you have very good diplomacy, rather than having you listed on the blacklist or the grey list, partners will more likely indicate to you changes that you need to make. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Nigeria is exiting that list, to me, it's a positive thing, and it's at a minimum an opportunity for Nigerians, Nigerian businesses, and Nigerian public financial managers when they want to access global finance. And if we are doing business, there are many countries in the world where if you wire money from Nigeria, they would put a hold on it, wait for some time to be sure the money is legitimate. There are places where Nigerians are not allowed to open accounts, even though your competitors or other people will come in there. So many people have had to deal with people in Singapore, UAE, Europe, many parts of the world. You will say that this is the world in which you can carry your money around with you. There's a limit to which you can use credit cards to do. So you need to come from a place where you can do money wire transfer. You can open accounts and do transactions without raising suspicion. So it's a very positive thing, both for the public and the private sector of our economy.
Let me push you further on the parameters or what they used in measuring why we got on that list to start with, because these are the things that obviously also determined how we got off that list. But aside from what the FATF has said and reasons they've given for us to be off that list, when you look back at us in the country, because you've made mention of financial illicit flow of funds in this country, there's more of that happening, even though it might not be making the news every other day. But have we seen a reduction by far in these illicit funds? Because there are those who would say, well, has there really been a change realistically?
Yeah, the way to look at it is how the banking sector works. When I was growing up, many of the central bank governors, from Paul Oguma down, even from Tokari Ahmed and Paul Oguma to Joseph Sanusi, down. They used to talk about that majority of Nigerian cash flow was outside the banking system. And so that was why when SAP was introduced in Nigeria in 1986, one of the objectives was banking penetration. We started with community banks, many measures that we took to see that our people put their money in the bank. For someone of my age, early 50s, we always knew where grandma used to keep her money in those days. But now, you can't find grandma with any money anywhere anymore. Almost everybody is now, we don't even have money in Nigeria physically. You have to go to POS before you can find any little money. Mm-hmm. So we've migrated our money to digital money. Our money now is in the banking sector, and the financial sector is growing rapidly. So that's one background to it that you need to recognize. The other one is that dark money. In the past, we do a lot of cash transactions, and many legislations that we've passed dealing with money laundering. It doesn't even matter. Originally, money laundering was chasing that money that you receive unlawfully. And if you receive your money lawfully, you could take any amount where you want. But now we changed to, it doesn't matter how legitimate the money was, you can't do certain amount outside 5 million naira outside the banking sector. And we had many people go to prison just for that. And you cannot carry money across borders anymore. I remember as a student in those days, going to London during holiday, we could stuff as much money in our pocket as possible. Nobody cared. But now, if you are traveling above $10,000, you would have to declare it. So we've done many things to make the banking sector clean. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that someone cannot put stolen money in the banking sector. It means that we will detect it. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that even in the most developed economy, the most advanced system, that bad money doesn't enter the system. It's that it doesn't disappear into a black hole. So that is what is happening. So these days, if somebody duped you or took your money or otherwise came into bad money, you could easily say, get their BVN. So you do the verification. And so many of these measures we've taken in the country, they have the potential to make law enforcement easy in the financial sector, to also desensitize people who think that they can hide money. So Nigeria cannot be a country now where you will say you carry drugs from Brazil or some other country and you can go and keep the money in Nigeria. It's not a country that's attractive to that. Those measures, those are the measures that are recognized to say Nigerians should not be on the grey list, because Nigeria's transparency in the banking and financial sector is open. Anyone can see it. It doesn't mean that there won't be one or two bad actors. Maybe they have valid public funds and all of that. That is why it's easy to trace them. And, of course, there are one or two dark alleys in the country. A lot of people are still using foreign exchange to do transactions outside. But we only regulate our own currency. We can't regulate the currency of America or anywhere. So as time goes on, if you go to many parts of the world, even when you give them their own currency, they will not take it from you. I've had occasions in Europe when I will come and my card doesn't work. Even if I have euro in my hand, the hotel will say, sorry, we don't take cash. So the world is getting to that.
Yeah.
And Nigeria is not far behind. And but let me explain to you what they recognize. What they recognize is where we were. The leapfrog, the speed with which we jumped from where we were just a few years ago to where we are now. We have made more progress than some of the advanced countries even, because we jumped from everybody carrying cash all over the place. I'm sure when you left school, you would know that many of your age mates were tellers in the bank. Now there are no tellers in the banks anymore. So those are the changes we have made, but we still have a long way to go. But it doesn't speak to the fact that there's no corruption in our government. No. What it's saying is that Nigerian banking and financial system is now not being used, or is not primed to be used for illicit flow of money.
It's a beautiful thing that for once we have something positive to talk about and applaud ourselves and maybe pat ourselves on the back for. And as you have said, yeah, there are a few dark alleys and there are a few bad people. But how do we grow from where we are and not slide back into that same utter darkness that we've been able to, in your words, leapfrog from? What are some of the reforms that we need to continuously push? Because, I mean, there have been intensive interagency collaborations that have gone on, which has helped us to get to where we are today. What more can we do to stay on the path of total recovery?
Well, everything we were doing before that brought us to this journey, we have to do. But the other things we're not doing, we still have to do. We still have to make sure that our budgets work. We still have to make sure that there's accountability in the management of public funding. Let us understand what is happening. It only speaks to the financial system and the banking sector, the transparency of it. It doesn't speak to any other problems we have. So it's like those days when we entered University of Ife, students, and we went to the health center, and they were doing tests for us. They were paying attention. They were doing tests on HIV tests for us. And most of us passed the test. And we used to jump all over the campus. Oh, we are healthy. It didn't mean that you were healthy. It just meant that you didn't have the virus. You may still have other problems in your health. So that is basically what this says. It says we don't have the virus of illicit financial flow. It doesn't say that our banking system is efficient. It doesn't say that our governments are transparent. It doesn't say that we're efficient in the management of our fiscal budgeting. It doesn't say that our monetary system is properly run. No, it didn't speak to any of those things. It's saying that you had an opaque financial system. You had bankers who were essentially money launderers. You could go to any bank and dump any amount of money overnight and all of that. But now your system is open. And to move forward, it means that the amount of emphasis and discipline and the interagency collaboration and interministerial collaboration that led us to deal with this issue, we could use that in other aspects of our public life and our resource management. If we do that, we will also be out. You remember there was a time that Nigeria had no direct flight to many countries because they said they were not too sure if our airlines were having the best security, if our airports were safe, and all of that. Efforts were made by the aviation authorities to meet all the guidelines. That's what led to all the screening you get at the airport and all the scanners and everything. So every sector will do that. In every aspect of your life, there are international best practices that if the political leadership is there, if the cultural change advocates are working well, that we can use these best practices in almost every aspect of our national life, and we will improve. But until we do that, nobody's going to do that for us.
Okay. Well, Lagos, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Nigeria's exit from the FATF grey list. My guest is a former presidential candidate for the SDP, Prince Adewole Adebayo. He's joining us via telephone. We'll take a quick break. When we come back from that break, we'll talk more about other matters arising, of course, still in talking about our transparency in the country. We'll be mentioning the issue of the attempted coup and several other matters. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. The program is still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info and also on YouTube. Post your comments on those live streams. We'll be right back.
More talk, news and sports after this.
Feeling under the weather? Tired of getting sick? Immunase from Vitabiotics can help. Immunase is a supplement packed with vitamins and minerals like vitamin D, zinc, and selenium that support your immune system. With Immunase, you can boost your natural defenses and fight infections, reduce your occurrence of illnesses, enjoy faster recovery, and better energy levels. Immunase from Vitabiotics, trusted partner to keep you healthy. Available at pharmacies near you.
Guess what, Nigeria? The Kellogg Superstar Quiz Show is back with season 4. Get ready to watch young superstars from schools across Nigeria battle it out in the ultimate contest of knowledge, speed, and fun. Catch all the excitement from 12th October on Z World, DSTV channel 166, and GoTV channel 30 every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. sharp. It's going to be a thrilling journey of learning, laughter, and superstar moments, and you don't want to miss it.
It's the choices you make that set you apart from being good to being great. My choice? Nivea Men Deep Body Lotion with Max Tech, powered by Black Carbon. Gives you both dark wood fragrance and 48-hour moisture. And my other top choice for all-day freshness, Nivea Men Deep Roll-On for 72-hour protection and fragrance with Max Tech, powered by Black Carbon. Skin is for playing it smart. Nivea is for skin.
Hey, I don't win 50 million naira for BetKing virtual jackpot game this month. Billing go plenty. Everybody go to talk say, make I run them something.
Be the next virtual's jackpot millionaire and win a share of 120 million naira monthly. One winner gets 50 million naira in the King monthly jackpot, and 12,000 others get a share of the virtual's jackpot prize. Play now. Not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. T's and C's apply. That's feeling. That's BetKing.
See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that. My peak breakfast, with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with a peak breakfast. Have you had your peak? Reach for your peak.
My mama no lie, oh. Food way sweet, na money kill and plus everything combined, oh. Everything combined, oh. Ogbonge just the arrive, oh. She tell me say na Devon King, so yeah, all she dey use fry, oh. Yeah. Now why did you love it this sweet like this? Chicken in the crisp like this. Fry the plantain, the chips and fish. Everything sweet and bliss. It's very, very so, yeah, my cheese. Now we dey run it down like cream. They cook it, they fry with cheese. Devon King oil is very, very.
Introducing the new Devon King's soya vegetable oil from Devon King's, our trusted family brand. Available in stores nationwide.
It's the Indomie Eat and Win promo. The more you eat, the more you win. How to win? Buy the Indomie Eat and Win promo pack. Find the promo code inside. Visit indomie.ng/eat and win. Enter your promo code and start earning points fast for a chance to win exciting gifts and 1 million naira cash every week for a lucky winner. So hurry now, eat and win. Let the winning begin. Visit indomie.ng/eat and win for more details, terms and conditions apply.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. This is what goodness tastes like. Golden caramel, creamy buttermint, and rich coffee. There's a Cadbury candy for every mood.
caramel, Cadbury coffee, Cadbury buttermint. Sweet, smooth, and full of flavor. Whether you're chilling at home or on the move, there's a Cadbury candy for every mood.
Yeah, there's a Cadbury candy for every moment.
What does it really mean to live limitless? It's a sojourn in Gombe leading a procedure in Lagos. It's SMEs showing up every day, pushing through the odds. It's students in remote towns streaming global lectures in real time. It's you making big moves in London while chilling by the pool in Abeokuta. It's power, it's freedom, it's mounting a router outside and connecting it inside for super fast internet. It's Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Enjoy unlimited data for limitless living with Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel.
Hey, Omo, see package. This is what I call full house.
Yes, sir. That's me. I full.
Huh? Who's talking about you? I'm talking about this Peak Yogurt Drink Full House Pack in your hand.
The Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House Pack with more refreshment contains fresh cow milk. Share and enjoy full house goodness filled with essential vitamins and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak.
My ions, please, can't get enough. My ions, please, give it to me now. It go rehydrate you, yeah. Replenish your ions with Pocari Sweat. Rehydrate you faster, easy we observe. Pocari Sweat, give me some more. Pocari Sweat.
We inform, we inspire, we ignite the conversation.
It's a worthy conversation to have.
It should have been to the credit of the presidency of if he had released him.
Because the government is saying one thing, the people are saying a totally different thing.
When Nigeria issue has happened to them or their family, they will know that this is not.
Again, I don't think there is a perfect answer to this story.
We're discussing the EFCC and their war against corruption.
Imagine that in 2026, we'll stop talking about corruption.
That their leaders say this is what you should do for them. Why can't you listen to the ADC warns against political witch hunt in coup pro?
Injustice will plunge this country into a chaos.
It's about you, the caller, the listener, the Nigerian on Nigeria Info. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Hard Facts.
And yes, we are live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itimi and Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. My name is Maryann Okon, and we are talking about Nigeria's recent exit from the FATF grey list. For those of you who are wondering, what is the FATF? Well, let me give you some background to it so you have an understanding. It is the Financial Action Task Force grey list. There's a grey list where, Nigeria used to be on. This is actually something that people have hailed across the country and across different political sectors, and divides. The FATF's decision to remove us from that grey list follows 2 years of intensive reforms and interagency collaboration to address identified deficiencies in Nigeria's anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. The reforms, coordinated across key government and financial institutions, were aimed at aligning Nigeria's systems with global standards. My guest, who's been talking to us about it, is a lawyer, a former presidential candidate for the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in the 2023 general elections, Prince Adewole Adebayo, who's joined us via telephone. Thank you so much, sir, for staying with us on the line. Now that we're back, let's talk more about, financial crimes and money laundering issues. The EFCC has been seen going after a few people on these issues of financial crimes. And there have been those who have, questioned the EFCC's pursuance of Yahoo boys, who many would also say are the ones who give us a bad name because people are scammed off their monies. But then there are also those who say that the politicians are the ones who steal the monies and launder them and put them in safe havens. But those politicians hardly ever, are in jail, or there are a few of them who have been, sentenced, a few politicians, but then Nigerians are saying we've not seen a lot of that being done. is there a guarantee that this EFCC that we are seeing today in 2025 is capable of doing more than going after Yahoo boys?
Well, I want us to understand something so that we don't have a moral crisis. The fallacy of moral equivalence is a fallacy. It doesn't matter whether you are a politician or you are a Yahoo boy. The most important duty of a citizen is to be law-abiding.
Mm-hmm.
And in the eye of the law, there's no politician, there's no Yahoo boy. There's just a person who is law-abiding, a person who is not law-abiding. So the duty of law enforcers is to enforce the law across the country.
Hmm.
Now, so if you see that the EFCC is going out after, is in your neighborhood, going after people they allege to be Yahoo boys, let them do it. And don't say, well, leave the Yahoo boy. That one is ruining somebody's life. And say, well, the other politician is also ruining somebody's life elsewhere.
Mm.
So if you have to kill a snake, a poisonous snake, or a poisonous scorpion, you don't spare one for the other. So if you want to criticize the AFCC, criticize them for what they are not doing. Which is, if you think that they are being too lenient or the elite, because it's a fair criticism, but you must come with evidence to show that. But there are three things that I would want us to put into context when we are discussing this issue. There is a sister agency called the ICPC,
Mm-hmm.
the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission.
Mm-hmm.
The ICPC is a specialist body that is meant to deal with public officials. And if the ICPC is doing all it can to deal with the public officials, then the EFCC might just come to mop up whatever they can do. But the EFCC is for everybody, whether you're a public official or you're a private person.
Mm-hmm.
And there are more private persons than public officials. So you will therefore see that the EFCC will have more private persons to deal with. And the system by which the EFCC operates is by way of petition. Everything the EFCC does, it does by somebody bringing a petition,
Mm-hmm.
except if something is done right in their presence or they have an intelligence report. So it is a statistical reality that 90% or more of the petitions that they receive is against private persons, Yahoo boys, some other fraudsters or other people. So they have more of these cases. It's not that they choose to do so. For example, if someone were to try to sell land, a piece of land to you, and they run away with your money, you are more likely to write a petition to EFCC than to write against the Minister of Finance because the budget is not well balanced, or to write against the Governor of Lagos because you think that he's living large and the economy of Lagos is going down, or write against the Commissioner because the road to your street has not been paved, even though you saw the road in the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So there are more petitions against private persons. That's why EFCC appears to be doing more work against private citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Second reason is that the elite have more access to lawyers. So by the time they get a letter from the EFCC, they will already inform their lawyer. And the lawyer will get involved with the EFCC and say, don't come to my client's house to arrest him. I'm going to bring him by myself. And what are the terms of the bail in case you want to interrogate him? So the differential in the access of the elite, politicians, civil servants, and all of that, their access to lawyers, it makes a difference. But a Yahoo boy or somebody who is just an ordinary person might not have access to the best legal advice, and if the FCC sends him a letter, he may just go there and show up and he will be detained. Or, in some instances, if the FCC comes to their places, they're not lawyered up. They will just show a warrant or no warrant and they just get them arrested. So long and short is that the elites do commit crime, but because you have less people in the elite class, the volume of the crime they commit may be high, but the incidence is the number. It will be reduced. We don't have more than 500,000 public servants. And you have 250 million people, whatever the number is today. So that's the second point. The third point is that our people have a little issue of thinking that unless you arrest all criminals at once, you can't arrest any. It doesn't work that way. Anybody, we have 50 people committing a crime. In America, in those days, as a young person, I used to drive very fast. And I noticed that the police cannot catch all the fast people. So sometimes when they slow me down, I think it's because I'm black. But in reality, I realize they can't catch everybody.
Yeah.
So they will catch the person that they can catch. So the best advice I can give to any Nigerian is try to be law-abiding, follow the law. There is enough scope. There is enough scope in our economy for legitimate income. You can learn IT and use it to make money without committing crime with it. You can do a lot of things in our economy nowadays as a young person, run away from crime. Don't say they should catch all the politicians. In due course, they are catching the politicians and they are taking them to court, many governors, former governors, ministers, but because they have lawyers and the Constitution says that you have the right to defend yourself with a lawyer, and the lawyer is going to raise every conceivable defense. But ultimately, they will go to jail if they committed the offense.
Okay. Because I want to open up the phone line so that people can join the conversation and ask questions. First, I'd like to quickly just throw it in there. When we talk about sincerity of purpose, sincerity on the part of leadership, transparency, Nigerians are asking so many questions of governors, of the presidency. I cannot let you go without just commenting on the issue of the so-called failed coup attempt. There's been a shake-up among service chiefs. No one is telling us anything. The ADC is pushing that, hey, tell us what is the true picture with this whole coup thing. Was there a coup or not? The defense headquarters has said there was no coup. But we haven't really heard from the presidency. How can Nigerians trust their leaders if there is no transparency, especially in communication?
Anyway, well, the first thing you need to understand is that no government is going to tolerate a coup. Even if they tolerate any other thing, I can tell you, politicians don't like to lose power. So if the government of the day is so saying that there's a coup, I don't think we should cry more than the bereaved. Because the government can deny anything, deny genocide, deny kidnapping, deny everything. But that thing that can potentially throw them out of power, they are not going to deny it if it exists. That's one thing. Second thing is that security issues are classified. If I was president, I will not tell you why I changed my service chiefs. Because it reflects, if it could be basically because they are not performing, and I've seen some gaps. It could be because I want another cadre to rise. Because Buhari, former President Buhari of blessed memory, it didn't change service chief for a long time. And when Burete and many of them were there, Bubakar and Sadiq and all of them, the basic cadres that were next to them, many of them retired without being able to rise to the next rank, and there was a lot of complaint along that line. So sometimes a commander-in-chief may take advice from security experts, and they will say, let the service chief serve for 2 years and then go. And then you put another set. That way you can clear that class, and there will be a sense of equity in the service.
All right.
It could also be that the strategic balance of the challenge is changing from fighting Boko Haram to now fighting Lakurawa, fighting bandits and all of that, and the theater is shifting. So there are many reasons, but as a politician, you should respect the right of the commander-in-chief to command his armed forces.
Okay.
And unless they are breaking the law, we should not politicize the armed forces. Armed forces promotion, armed forces deployment, those just like the foreign diplomacy, they are not easy ground for politicians to use to politicize. Those things are state affairs. They are not political affairs.
Okay, lovely. Let's open up the phone line 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-90, 465-7190, I beg your pardon, 0201-465-7190 for the ladies. On WhatsApp, it's 0809-5975-805. If you're calling or listening from outside of the country, you want to join the conversation, only those in the diaspora can call our WhatsApp number. How does Nigeria's exit from the FATF grey list help to boost our economy? These are the conversations that we're having. My guest is a former presidential candidate for the SDP, and he's also a lawyer, joining us via telephone. Ladies, call 0201-277, gentlemen, call 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. You could also join the conversation on WhatsApp, 0809-5975-805. We're live on YouTube and on Facebook. Join the conversation and post your comments. If you have questions, we would like to hear from you. Go ahead and join the conversation. Someone is saying I should ask my guest. Okay, obviously this question is not for this guest. Okay, thank you very much. 0201-277-0993. If you're trying to call me, let's see. You're allowed to call 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. Okay. I do not know what's happening. I think I have touched something here on the phone lines, but yes, you're allowed to call, join the conversation. Let me hear your thoughts. How does this help us to build our economy? Prince Adebayo, let me just ask another quick question. The Minister for Finance has recently told us that the policies of the Tinubu administration have been working well. In fact, that the price of rice has reduced today to 80,000 naira. And there are those who are saying that this is not a welcome development. In fact, there are those who are also saying that the government is manipulating the price of food for political gains, being that we have insecurity in certain parts of the country, which has also led to the increase in the price of food that we would easily get on a normal day. How do you think the government of the day is handling the issue of food production, the prices, and cost of living crisis in general? Quickly, before I take other calls.
Well, the cost of living is not dropping. Things are not affordable. Whatever explanation the government is giving doesn't make any sense. In the sense that the price of produce or products or goods or services are not measured in absolute terms. They're measured based on income. So you have to do cost of living adjustment. So if the average wage, what can he buy? If the minimum wage set by the government is less than the price of a bag of rice, why are you still discussing the subject? Because the worker who you pay minimum wage is supposed to be a living wage. So if you cannot raise the living wage higher, you need to bring the price of goods substantially down to the point where the family can meet all their needs: food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, and transportation to work. So this debate is too basic to be confusing to anyone. If the bag of rice, whether it's 80,000 before or 120,000, has come down 80,000, that is not relevant to the person who is earning 100,000 because he still can't afford it. So that is what the government needs to know. And rather than worrying too much about pricing, the end market pricing, they should worry about the inputs. That is to say, how many more acreages of rice farm are you growing? And if you are using rice, it's not the only product. The other products are that. But I'm a rice farmer. It's more difficult for me to plant rice now If you go to my farm in Mayobaloa in Adamawa, where I'm planting rice in other places, I don't have paddy affordable. And so the government is not doing a lot. What they are doing is that they allow for importation of some polished rice, which in the short run drop the price, but it's not sustainable, because the sustainability approach will be that you can grow sufficient amount of rice in the country and grow sufficient among other staples to the point where a family will not need more than 15% of their income to feed the family, because they still have other expenses to bear. And you still want them to contribute taxation and other things to the economy. So that is the way. But this monetarist approach, illusion of money, it's not helping. And if the price of goods and services will come down, it will come down through Wale Edu, the Minister of Finance. It will come through Minister of Agriculture, who is going to ensure that more acreages are farmed. It will come down through to see that technology is used in farm technology and preservation of food. It will come through the Minister of Transportation to see that the haulage cost of bringing goods to the market is less than that. So you keep, or less than before, you keep working on these different sectors. So it is not that particular finance minister that is going to ensure that prices come down, because he is just shuffling the card on the deck. Any card that's not on the deck, he can't shuffle it. So he's just to manage the income and expenditure of the federal government. That's all he can do. Any other thing is speculative and just propaganda. And that is where the government is failing.
Do you see anything changing anytime soon? Because don't forget, the year 2026 comes with, January and the new tax regime and a few changes here and there, coupled with, the increase in gas prices, in petrol. Are Nigerians going to be able to catch a break anytime soon?
They're going to catch a break when they change the government and put an SDP government. They're going to catch a break when they change up their mind and stop selling their votes. They will you change your mind. It's your country. Tinubu is not going to change his mind. He's 70-something, going towards 80. What he's doing in life has worked for him to the point where he became president. Why will he change now? So why will a person who is successful in life change? It is you whom the system doesn't favor that's going to change. So it is the people who have to change their perception of government, their angle of engagement of politics, their thinking processes as to how they select their leaders. So unless you change about how you discuss your country and how seriously young people take their country, realizing that the little money you make can buy you toys, but no amount of money can buy you a country. You have to build it by yourself.
Okay.
So this is, if you change the electorate, if you change the population of politicians, if you recruit new leaders, that's what you can change. There's nothing in the world that President Tinubu can change. It's too late for him to change. So, and the Buhari, who came on the basis of change, 2015, later changed to next level, which means they didn't change anything. So that's what you need to understand. You need to change. Okay. The electorate needs to change. And the way you are voting in recent time doesn't show to me that you want to change, because you are complaining in the afternoon and collecting the money in the evening.
Okay. Before I let you go, because we have less than a minute, someone here says, my name is Osaro. On transit, he says, your guest has spoken well. I have great respect for him. He's a great thinker. He has wonderful plans. How I wish we can team up with someone like him and Peter Obi and other like-minded people to face the incumbent in the next general elections. Are you still going to run for elections next? I'm
already running. I've told my party, so we're already in the run, and we're ready to work with everybody.
Okay.
But when you are working, you have to have the same objectives. People keep saying, work with this person, work with that person. A person who is in Ibadan going to Lagos, going to Kano. So we have to have the same destination that we are discussing.
All right.
And I believe that as we are discussing, we'll start collaborating together. But the most important thing is that Nigerians must believe in their country. Even if you don't like the government, you have to love your country.
All right.
You have to do your part before you can demand the other person to do their part.
I want to say thank you. Unfortunately, time is fast spent. Prince Adewole Adebayo is a former presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, and he's also a lawyer. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time of your tight schedule to join us. All right. Thank you very much. Lagos, I'll see you tomorrow. That's the show. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, MIMIEYO. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nigeria Info will be right back.
The energy from breakfast doesn't last my child the whole day. By halftime, your champ will be low on energy. That's why break time is the right time to refuel.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.